This is Nick Williams with Geek, and today we are reviewing the movie Your Monster by Vertical Entertainment. The description is, Laura Franco is a soft-spoken actress finding her voice again when she meets a terrifying yet wildly charming monster living in her closet. This is a unique, fun, romantic comedy. Little bit of horror and musical film about falling in love with your inner rage. The film stars Melissa Barrera, who you know from In the Heights, Abigail, and Scream 6, and Megan Fahey from White Lotus. This will be a non-spoiler review because I think this movie is better if you don't know what's going to happen. The movie itself being described as romance, comedy, musical, and horror makes sense when you watch this film, because it's constantly transitioning you between those different types of movies. When the film first starts, you definitely think, okay, this is going to be a dark comedy. And then at some point you think, is this going to be a romantic movie? But just like the description, it is a combination of all of them. But more than anything, it is a unique look into somebody's inner psyche. The best comparison I can make is The Joker with Joaquin Phoenix. Now, although I would describe The Joker as a much darker movie, this has a very similar approach on storytelling. Not only are you seeing this movie through Laura's eyes, but also through Laura's mind. Now, although there are songs in this is not your typical musical. People aren't just suddenly bursting into song for no reason. A lot of this movie is based around the behind the scenes of creating a musical, which sets up a lot of those musical moments. The beginning of the movie had me a little bit concerned because I didn't know if I would care about any of the characters. Because the tone that it starts in the beginning is that kind of dark comedy. But all of that changes with the introduction of the monster. And the relationship between Monster and Laura is the best part of the movie. Their dynamic and their growth together is the heart of the film. Most of the side characters are a bit two-dimensional and you don't really get to know them that well. Although there's a monster involved, all the themes are very real-world themes that are easy to connect to. Everything from grief, anger, relationships, it is all something that we've all dealt with at some point. This movie was not entirely predictable for me. I didn't know exactly where they were going to take things. And because of where they did take things, I very much understand Melissa's acting choices. Some of the grief moments were definitely a bit over the top for me. But the more the relationship between Monster and Laura developed, that became a lot more believable. There are definitely horror movie elements to this film, but it's not a scary movie. There are two trigger warnings that I would like to state ahead of time. One is that our main character is dealing with cancer, and that's not a spoiler warning, you hear that from the beginning. The second is if you've ever had a relationship with a narcissist or somebody who's gaslit you, that could trigger you in this movie. Not that you shouldn't watch it, but just know that going into it. Again, this is all something you see very early in the movie. Overall, I did enjoy the movie. Where a movie like The Joker was a little too dark for my taste, this movie was a little bit more palatable. Overall, I would give this movie a 6.5 out of 10. And to be perfectly frank, it is the monster that carries a lot of this movie. But because it does have that darker comedy presentation, I don't think the movie is for everyone. But if you're in the mood, I think you can enjoy it. Thank you for joining me for this review. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and like this video, and we will see you for future reviews.